Adam Christ from My MMA News on the line with Kaheem The Dream Murray, who just got some great news fell in his lap. He has taken on Baby Slice, or Kevin Ferguson Jr., as some of you may know him, at Bellator 241. It goes down in Connecticut at the Mohegan Sun Arena. First, I got to thank my friend for joining me, Kaheem The Dream Murray. This is our first time. Very few times we've talked on air, but I appreciate it every time, and it's good to see a guy coming from our region get a shot, man. First, thanks for joining me, and two, congratulations.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, the opportunity kind of just fell in my lap. So I've been training really hard. I've been just focused, kind of like quiet, not really too vocal on social media. It came at a great time, and I'm really looking forward to proving myself and going out there, representing for Philadelphia.
And we were talking a little bit before this when you and I were just chopping it up, and I was saying how I really like how you're a fighter that gets in there, you get it done, win or loss, you're humble as a man, you take it, you move on, and you don't do a whole lot of talking. You let your fights speak for itself, and I appreciate that. What's the demeanor behind that? Why take that approach when so many people are taking the time to pump themselves up and they're the next big star, but you're letting your fight speak for itself? Why take that approach?
On my Instagram bio, I have like prove it with your actions. A lot of guys talk. And whether you're accomplishing your goals or if you're not, I feel like, just train quietly and prove it with your actions. And I've come across a lot of failure. I've come across a lot of things that I've had succeeded at, but I'm not really a guy that's going to be talking, bragging about myself. I just try to prove with my actions and, just take it one step at a time.
So you say this fight fell in your lap, but I want to get down to the nitty-gritty details of it. Like, what was happening? What was popping off? Like, what exactly was going on the day that you got the news, that call? Like, what was happening? How did it actually fall in your lap?
One of the Bellator promoters reached out to me and basically just like offered me to fight. My goal was to fight by May. I didn't plan on fighting until March, but like I said, I've been training so hard. Last fight I had was last June. I just been training consistently. I've been in the gym. I've been doing more ground game, more wrestling. And it just came, and I just said, you know what, it's a big opportunity. Like, I looked at the opponent, I felt like it was a good matchup, and I said, why not? So we talked over the details, and then it seemed like a couple of days later, everything was signed, contract, and I was going to get my blood work, physical, and all that done.
That's awesome. So, like we said, man, it's the biggest stage, the biggest promotion that you fought on career. Tons of names you're going to be coming across in the locker room. The main event itself speaks for it. So, and your opponent obviously has a huge background with his dad. Everything's going behind it. So, I got to ask you, how are your nerves dealing with all this pressure kind of just falling on your lap?
I'm just right now, I mean, a lot of people have asked me that. I'm just worried about the present moment. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not, I'm gonna treat it just like it's a regional show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, it's, all the bright lights, all the cameras. I'm just going to enjoy the moment and go out there and have fun, because when you overthink things and you kind of worry about things that are out of your control, then that's how you fall, victim to, maybe not executing the way you want to. So I'm gonna just go out there and enjoy the moment and fight my fight. And I feel like if I do that, I can definitely win this fight.
Now, one last question before we get into the fight itself is you've put in all this hard work. Like you said, you haven't done the talking. You've put in the work to get where you're at. Is this one of those things? I mean, obviously the win would be the biggest payoff, but is this a little bit of like a breath of fresh air? Like, I'm doing this right, man. Like, this is kind of an accomplishment and a part of the payoff.
Well, this just goes, I kind of do this ever since I started this late. I don't have like a background
Mm,
like a lot of guys have, like they grew up wrestling or they grew up with, a strong base. I started this like, my early 20s, and I just been consistently, just training, and it's just something that I've done that how do I put this into words? Everything I've done is I worked full time. Like, I have a full time, I'm a caseworker.
hmm
So I kind of just do this to prove something. I'm doing this to prove something to myself. Like, every time I take a step to the next level, like, it's like, wow, I've done all this. It just goes to prove that, and you can do anything you put your mind to. So I really don't think I really don't think I have a limit, and I feel like I can beat this guy. I feel like I can beat the next guy. Yeah, and basically that's it.
I love the mentality, man. So getting into the fight itself, you're taking on Baby Slice, Kevin Ferguson Jr. With social media and obviously the fights and you're no stranger to the guy, right? What do you know about him, and how do you match up, your strengths to his strengths, differences, everything like that? Like when it comes down to the fight itself, how do you feel you can persevere over him?
How I feel I can persevere over him, I feel that I'm just going to grind it out a little bit better than he has. But neither of our fights have all my wins have come by finish. All his
Mm-hmm.
wins have come by finish as well. In fact, even in his losses, he's never seen a third round in any of his fights.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of my fights, have I've seen it in the fights before. But I just feel that I'm going to really push him, and it's just going to be it's just going to be it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a good fight.
Now, I got to ask, with you touching on that, saying you've made it through the decision, the 3 rounds. He hasn't gone to the 3 rounds. Are you kind of testing or maybe even relying on him falling short on the cardio aspect?
No, I don't. I know if we've both had fights where our cardio wasn't the best. I
Mm,
plan on getting the best version of him. I plan on him coming out in the third round, and being just as energized as I am. So no, I'm not really like going in there to try to tire him out and finish him. I just feel like this fight is going to be like action packed, his style, and my style. Like as far as stand up, it's going to be a pretty intense fight. And he's no slouch on the ground either. A lot of people
hmm
make the
Right.
mistake to think that like he's just a brawler and everything. I know he's no slouch on the ground. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be it's not going to be a boring fight. It's going to be a very intense fight, and I don't seeing this going to the decision. I really don't.
So I got to ask, man, with a win, have you talked to Bellator, and is this going to be one of those things where a win will keep you in the roster of Bellator, or what's going on after this fight? As far as has any discussion gone on?
Well, this really hasn't been no discussion, but based off the history that previous guys that had fought there and won and done good,
Mm.
they normally get another shot. So I'm definitely already having in my mind, I'm definitely going to go out there and put on a good performance, and they're not going to have any choice but to give me another shot. I
And
know they
like
have
you said,
another card. I know they have another card in November, so not looking that deep into it, but
right,
yeah, they're not going to
but
have any.
looking to get this W and then get back on that card in November is what you're saying.
Correct.
I like it. So I want to ask you just a little sidestep, and we're going to close it down because I don't want to take all your Sunday away from you. But you were talking how you have your full-time job, and this is kind of like one of those things where it's really a test, and like a test of your will to yourself. Like you are like you're. How can I even put this into words? It's it's something that's proving something to yourself and nobody else, right? It's you alone. And I got to ask, what will this do for you as a man? Because, like you said, this is one of those things that you're just doing it to test yourself. What does it do for you as a man?
Well, fighting in general, like sometimes, like at previous fights that I've been, you have guys that win, you have guys that lose. So, like whether you win or lose, it's a life lesson. Like I said before, like it's this, it just goes to prove that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Um, I always wanted the luxury of like some of these other guys, they can just train full time. They may have like a better support system where they don't, they get like free housing and, I don't have that, luxury. So I have to, support myself at the work. But I just feel like you have to be smarter about the way you go about it. So I might not have the luxury of just dedicating my entire life to this, even though I do dedicate my life to this and I do go 100%. You just have to be smarter about it. So I just like for anybody else out there that may want to try something or may feel like they're too old or whatever the case may be, it's just that if you just are smart about it, you can accomplish anything, and don't let certain barriers hold you back.
So I'm fortunate enough to where I've been able to see, most of your fights because we're around the same region. You fights in the regional circuit that, I'm around and everything like that. So I'm very familiar with your fights. So and the people around the fight scene that you have been around. So a lot of people I've seen have taken the social media around our region and is just, blown up with the support for Kaheem Murray. Like it's like a do you have any bit of advice to give to them as like a look, man, it can happen, just keep putting in the work, like because now it seems like you have the ball in your court to maybe be a sense of inspiration to some of the up and comers.
Yeah, I'm looking. I love all the. I've received a ton of support, a ton of messages. I mean, I've gotten back to most of them, but I've received a ton of support. But I'm almost looking at it as if like I'm happy that I have the opportunity, but I want to take advantage of the opportunity. So I'm not really thinking about it. I'm enjoying, like I said, I'm enjoying each moment of this whole
Hmm.
process. But it's just like the team that gets to the Super Bowl that doesn't win. Like nobody never remembers that team. I want to go out there and put on a performance. So it's like getting there is fun, but like I'm not just trying to get there. I'm trying to, like
Right.
make a statement. And, any past failures that I've had, like all that mattered. None of that matters anymore. This moment is all that matters.
So talking about going in there and putting on a statement, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. If I asked for a bold prediction, how do you take out Kevin Ferguson Jr., aka Baby Slice? Let's be bold about it, man. Let's give a round. Let's give your, like you said, a lot of his wins, most of his wins, all of his wins, stoppage. Same with you. Somebody's probably going to get stopped that night. Let's hear it from you, brother.
I would say second round KO or TKO.
Second, oh man, that bold. You want to little piece it up with a punch combination, knee kick. How you feeling
I,
it, bro?
I'm
How
not
you
going.
feeling it?
I'm not going to give that away. But yeah, second round. I feel like I'm gonna finish him in the second round.
Awesome, man. Well, look, I appreciate you taking the time, Kaheem. Like I said, we come from the same region, so seeing that small circle and seeing you make it to the next kind of level, it's really cool, man. And I appreciate you being on. And best of luck, man. Obviously, me and a ton of other people, we're going to be tuning in on fight night to see you make that big step. And best of luck, man. I appreciate you taking the
I
time.
appreciate it. Can I thank some like training
Of
partners?
course, yeah. So yeah, I was actually forgetting that. I want you to thank your sponsors and let people know how to get in touch with you on social media to keep up with your fight news.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank, my gym, Royal Striking, my head coach, Eric Meisner. I've been working really, I also got a jiu-jitsu coach there, Bill Woke, and all the guys there that I train with on a daily basis, Trent, Vinny, Kevin, like guys, Muay Thai guys. Like I like to thank, everybody. Also want to thank my other gym, Gracie Himanada in South Philly, Brian, the jiu-jitsu coach there, Zach, there's other guys there, Cameron. It's a whole bunch of killers. I want to thank my girlfriend Allison. First and foremost, she support me throughout this whole process. And yeah, thank the guy Eric. Eric Shills, he's one of my sponsors, Yams Incorporation. He's making my shorts for my fight. And hope I didn't forget anybody, but yeah, just everybody, all my training partners, my family, mom, and everybody. That's it.
All right. Well, I'm glad you got that in there. Thank you for reminding me and keeping me on point, brother. But I do have one more question. Any final words to Baby Ferguson?
Um,
Baby Slice, Kevin Ferguson.
hey man, I just hope he's having a healthy fight camp, and we're gonna go in there. We're gonna put on a show, and it's gonna be memorable.
All right, there he goes, Kaheem the Dream Murray. He's getting ready for Bellator 241, where he takes on Baby Slice, Kevin Ferguson Jr. Kaheem, I can't wait to see it, man. Best of luck, and I appreciate the on. There he goes, Kaheem the Dream Murray. Keep it locked to my MMA news for all your